Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Smart Tech. In this video, I am going to show you how to customize the startup screen of Raspberry Pi. In this short video, I am going to highlight following 2 points. First, how to disable all text messages on the screen at the time of booting Raspberry Pi. And second, how to change the splash screen of Raspberry Pi. To achieve the goal, we need to modify few of the files on Raspberry Pi. This task can be performed by command line either on Raspberry Pi or from remote terminal. In my case, I am going to connect using remote terminal with Raspberry Pi. So friends, let's start connect Raspberry Pi using a remote terminal application. Here I am using the MobaXterm application and I am going to connect using an SSH protocol. I hope you all know about how to connect using SSH. Now I am at the root with the sudo. Friends, make sure you are paying proper attention and you are following each and every step properly, otherwise your Raspberry Pi OS may get damaged and you need to reinstall the operating system on the memory card once again. So before you perform anything, please make sure you are taking a proper backup of the existing Raspberry Pi OS. The first step we are performing is removing the rainbow screen which comes at the startup of the Raspberry Pi. So for that we are supposed to edit one of the file under the directory called boot. Remember, all the details are already given in the description, especially the file name and all the steps. But still make sure you are not forgetting anything to perform during the steps. So let us modify the particular file. Open that file using a nano editor. The path is boot/config.txt. Enter, go inside this. You need to add one particular sentence at the last, that is a disable splash equal to 1. It was not there in your file, though I have already modified it, that's why it is available, but you need to add into your file. Save the file with the appropriate permission and go to the next step. Remember, this step remove the rainbow screen on the startup of the Raspberry Pi. Next step is to remove the text messages which are appearing at the time of booting the Raspberry Pi. So for that we are supposed to modify one particular file. That file is usr share plymouth themes pix.script. Please make sure you are writing the appropriate path. Though the path and the steps are already given in the description, if required you can copy paste the path from that particular area. Now open this. Now under this, go at the end of the file. Now you need to either remove or give the comment to 4 lines. That is, the first is this line. Either you put the hash symbol and it will become a particular comment, or you can delete these 4 files. This 4 file will remove the text which are appearing at the time of booting the Raspberry Pi from that particular area. After this, you save the file and you come out of this. Third and last step is to remove the boot messages from the Linux. As Raspberry Pi is built using the Linux core, so we are supposed to remove that booting messages of Raspberry Pi. So for that we are supposed to edit the particular file called cmd line. Now again, this is one of the crucial part of the modification. Make sure you are not touching any of the other parameters or the values of this file. You just need to add some of the parameters or some of the variables at the end of this line. Make sure you put one space, then copy paste the details which is available in the description and you add it over here. This will enable your particular file to remove the boot messages at the time of booting the Raspberry Pi. Save the file and come out of it. As well, I forget to mention that here, before you add anything on in this file, make sure that it must be console equal to tty3. In your file it is 1. Here you need to change to tty3 and you need to append some of the text at the end of the file. What is the meaning of the parameter which we have added at the end of that particular file is already given in the description. You can explore more on it later on, or you can do the necessary changes. Now if you reboot the system, it will boot the Raspberry Pi into the blank screen and gives you the particular desktop. So remember that if you have not copied any of the PNG file as a splash screen, it is not going to display at the booting of the Raspberry Pi. So before you reboot it, let's copy one particular file into the appropriate path so that we can have a particular customized logo at the time of booting the Raspberry Pi. Now upload the particular PNG file as a logo file or the particular file which you want at the startup of the Raspberry Pi to your Raspberry Pi home Pi folder. You can see here I am having the rpi underscore pinout.png as a particular file. Now I need to copy this particular file at a particular location so that it can replace the splash.png file. You can see the particular file here. Instead of my splash.png, I must write the name called rpi underscore pinout.png and the path is user share plymouth theme pics splash.png. It means I am replacing splash.png with my particular png file. After this you can press the enter and now everything is set up. You just reboot the particular Raspberry Pi. You will definitely get whatever you wish. I hope now you can easily change the startup screen of the Raspberry Pi with your customized screen or the logo, and you can disable all the text or the messages at the startup of the Raspberry Pi. Don't forget to like and share the video, and I believe you have already subscribed the channel to keep yourself updated. Thank you.